Warning, the following content in this video may be offensive to most people and may be horrifying to all. Be cautious as you watch. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about comic books and stuff, and we are continuing today with Weatherman, Back to Earth. If you are following this story, you know Earth is considered a no-go area, a dead planet. But what they need is located on Earth, so they had to still go. But what they found, they did not expect. Getting into the planet was not a problem. It was just a big stop sign, and they had a big ship, so they just rammed through it, like, with no remorse. Even the security outpost didn't care. They didn't chase, they didn't fire. They're like, why waste the bullets? They are heading towards their death. There was no point. Come to find out, they were not the only people interested in life on Earth. We see a group of mercenaries who banded together, offering up people every day, or is it every month, to someone on Earth for experimentation, splitting up families for the greater good, quote unquote. This is when we find out what actually took place on Earth, what killed the planet. And as usual, the death of a planet was caused by man-made viruses. Discovered when they went on a mining expedition, they saw a virus, and the first thing that came to their mind was, oh, let's weaponize it. Obviously, they didn't plan to use it, but it got used. We know why. And it killed everybody. Anyways, our crew gets ready, basically eating their last supper before they enter the jaws of death. Garen, the lovable giant, made dinner for everybody, but some were not going to eat, especially not with the people that beat them down. Amanda and White still had beef, but she didn't have to disrespect my guy's food like that. Garen worked hard, and he just left. You don't do that to a man. And since the mood was messed up, Amanda left as well, but one person stayed behind, Marshall, to give the Weatherman a warning, because he doesn't believe he's such a nice guy. He knows him. He knows the kind of person he is, and he promises that when this is all over, he will rip him apart piece by piece and bathe in his own blood before leaving the room, leaving Nathan alone. The president, however, wasn't alone. Someone was picking on her. He wanted her to leave office so bad, he was willing to threaten a freaking president, but she had threats of her own. My guy was a literal diddler. Yeah, she told him if you don't back off, the whole world would know. Unlike him, the rest of our crewmates had a lot of backbone because they stepped into the world of death, and what they saw before them was a mountain of bones, a mountain of corpses. Nathan saw this, and it dawned on him exactly what his past self did. You killed a planet. He was terrified of not just about what his true self is like, but what was standing before him. This was a scary situation, but they assured him that don't worry, they are dead, you're safe. But he really wasn't, because they weren't really dead. You see, the virus reanimates dead people continuously, feeding on live matter till nothing is left. And human beings are like cockroaches, because in this world of death, some people were still alive. Some people were still alive and had mutants as pets who helped them walk. A little girl who stayed on this planet alone could be seen being supported by a mutant bear. Cool, right? But you have to know, when something this cool exists, something very terrible exists too. Because we can see living, breathing human beings used for experimentation to find a cure. Because this disease is attracted to living tissue. So they have to literally take piece by piece of a living human. And still they hit a dead end. Every single time they were forced to incinerate because there was no cure. Sadly, our heroes were about to find that out the hard way. Because while walking in Central Park underneath the black rain, they saw someone calling for help. They tried to save her, but this wasn't even a her. In a split second, her body mutated, forming claws as she ripped into our big lovable giant and ran away. They tried to attack her, but she was too quick, only for them to realize that they were surrounded. They had to run, and they did. Shorty watching them from the distance knew, yeah, these guys are screwed. Not only did they have to run with armor on, they had to run while holding their injured teammate. It was a suicide run. And worst of all, freaking Nathan wasn't watching his back. Amanda was going through it at this moment. Her ex was dying. Her other ex was a buffoon who was going to get everyone killed. It was a terrible situation, and Garen decided to be a man, taking both blasters and asking Marshall to take Amanda away. Marshall did it, no question asked. He wanted to be the last line. Go, I will slow them down. He tried his best, but even when they got on the ship, they were not free. Because these zombies could merge, and they merged into a goddamn kaiju. Jesus Christ. It wasn't only big and menacing, it could spit acid. But at that moment, when all was lost, Shorty came through with the sniper, shooting the monster and pushing it back. From such a small girl, this was a big feat. But her second bullet was special. This bullet had a mini singularity in it, meaning a black hole, and the monster just went poof. When all was done, she called out to them, come out, you're safe. My bear has told me you're safe. They were thankful, but she being the only human they have seen so far, they asked her if they had seen the doctor, and she said she has. Follow me. Nathan tried to apologize for being a fuck up, but nobody cared. Just shut up and walk. And they all walked. They walked for a long time, only to find out that Shorty was dead. The person they came to Earth for, this zombie-infested world, was gone.